Vehicle interdiction is the act of stopping and controlling a moving vehicle and its occupants, often while in hostile or denied territory. The primary targets are typically HVTS, high-value targets, who are on the move and often surrounded by armed protection. Delta's interdictions aim to strike fast, prevent escape, and secure or eliminate the objective before the enemy reacts. These operations can be ground-based, with up-armored or civilian vehicles boxing in the target. Helicopter-supported, where rotorcraft physically insert forces into the path of the vehicle or onto it, or a hybrid, combining air and ground teams for maximum control. The roots of vehicle interdiction go back decades. The British SAS used rudimentary forms of it in counter-terror operations in Northern Ireland. Israeli Sayeret Matkal refined it in the 1970s and 80s, conducting targeted strikes on vehicles carrying PLO leadership or bomb makers. Delta Force, modeled heavily on the SAS when founded in 1977, quickly incorporated similar methods. But it was in the post-9/11 era, especially in Iraq and Afghanistan, that vehicle interdiction became a frontline tool, not just a contingency. With terror cells moving fast and hiding in civilian traffic, Delta needed to match their mobility. Static raids no longer worked. You couldn't wait for a HVT to settle in a house or base. Instead, you had to hit them in transit, away from crowds, strongholds, and safe houses. But to do that, you needed instant air mobility. Real-time intel updates, teams ready to deploy anywhere, anytime. This is where the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment changed everything. The 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment Airborne is the most elite helicopter unit in the U.S. military. They are tasked with one job: fly America's most sensitive special operations forces, Delta, SEAL Team 6 and Rangers, into and out of the world's most dangerous missions. Night Stalkers are night flying experts trained to operate in pitch-black environments with NVGs and infrared gear. Masters of low-level terrain navigation, using nap-of-the-earth flying to avoid radar and visual detection, battle-hardened, with decades of experience in combat insertions, extractions, and direct interdiction support. Their motto says it all: Night Stalkers don't quit. 160th SOAR uses a fleet of heavily modified helicopters optimized for speed, stealth, and survivability. MH-6M Little Bird small, agile, and fast. Used to drop operators onto roads, rooftops, or even onto moving vehicles, can land in tight urban or mountain zones. 2 operators per side, with benches, can fast rope or leap directly onto targets. MH-60M Blackhawk, DAP and assault variants used for fast rope insertions or landing in open zones, often flies low and fast into hostile territory. DAP, Direct Action Penetrator, variant equipped with miniguns, rocket pods, Hellfire missiles, can engage escort vehicles or provide air cover during extraction. MH-47, G Chinook heavy lift platform, used to insert entire teams with vehicles or supplies, capable of long-range missions with aerial refueling, can support multiple squads in coordinated interdictions. All 160th aircraft are equipped with advanced IR suppression systems, encrypted communications gear, FLIR and night sensors, low observable tech for radar avoidance. The crews trained to land without lights, fly at treetop level, and insert teams within meters of moving targets. In a helicopter-based interdiction, Delta and the 160th work in perfect sync. Here's how a typical mission unfolds. ISR support begins. Drones or fixed-wing aircraft begin tracking the target vehicle hours in advance. Delta confirms identity and movement. Launch from staging area. MH-60s or MH-6s take off with Delta squads on board. MH-47s may bring additional forces or blocking vehicles. Insertion point determined. The pilots identify a road choke point, open flat zone, or mountain pass where the vehicle can be stopped. Air interdiction executed. MH-6is drop operators ahead of the convoy. MH-60s land behind or alongside. Ag gunships maintain overwatch. The target vehicle is surrounded within seconds, vehicle secured. Delta breaches, clears, and controls the target. If the subject resists, it's neutralized. If captured, the team exfiltrates immediately. Extraction. Depending on terrain, Delta may reboard helicopters, drive to a secondary LZ call in an MH-47 for rapid extraction with prisoners or gear. This entire sequence from air insertion to exfil can take under 10 minutes. Not all missions require air power. In less hostile or urban environments, Delta may conduct traditional ground-based interdictions using up-armored SUV civilian vans with hidden weapons, spike strips and ramming tactics, smoke or flashbangs. These setups are useful in cities where helicopters would draw too much attention. Operators box in the target vehicle, dismount in seconds, and seize control before anyone can react. However, even these missions are often coordinated with 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment on standby in case escalation or fast extraction is needed. Vehicle interdictions allow Delta to strike when the target is most vulnerable, avoid fortified buildings or IED-laced compounds, prevent the subject from escaping across borders, collect sensitive materials, phones, hard drives from vehicles, execute precision missions without collateral damage. With the 160th behind them, these interdictions become even more powerful, fast, mobile, and nearly impossible to stop. Delta Force operators don't go into interdictions under-equipped. Every mission loadout is tailored for maximum speed, lethality, and control. Typical equipment includes primary weapons, Mk-18 or HK-416 short-barreled rifles, ideal for close-quarters combat and vehicle breach work. Glocks or SIG M17 as sidearm suppressors to reduce audible signatures, non-lethal tools, flashbangs for stunning occupants, smoke grenades to conceal team movement, zip ties and flex cuffs for detainee control breaching and vehicle access, window punches and hardened tools for shattering windows, fast shotgun breachers, for locks and hinges if doors are locked, pole cams or bore scopes to visually clear inside a vehicle before entry, door wedges and tire deflators to immobilize targets, post-capture specialist tools, signals intelligence kits to scan or jam mobile communications, tablet-based ISR feeds for real-time drone views, thermal scopes and NVGs for low-light tracking. The goal is always fast, controlled access with no unnecessary destruction, especially if intel collection is a priority. Each vehicle interdiction plays out differently depending on terrain, threat level, and proximity to civilian presence. But several core tactics are consistent. Box in maneuver, ground-based, used often in urban or semi-permissive environments. Multiple unmarked vehicles approach the target from various angles. Front vehicle brakes, rear blocks, side vehicles pin in. Operators dismount and engage rapidly. Works best in dense traffic or intersections. Rolling interdiction. Conducted in motion, Delta vehicles flank the target vehicle while moving. Spike strip or brake check forces a stop. Operators dismount and breach under movement pressure, often used in rural or highway settings. Air-assisted interdiction. This is where the 160th shines. MH-6 Little Birds drop operators directly ahead of or onto the road. MH-60 Blackhawks land flanking teams beside the vehicle. Gunship variants provide top cover and overwatch, can also simulate blockades using rotor wash and low hover intimidation. After dismount, teams breach and extract in minutes. Delta often uses air-to-ground comms synced in real time via secure systems, with aircrew and ground teams constantly updating positioning. 160th's ability to fly nap of the earth just above treetops allows Delta to approach without being detected. Their night flying skills, honed through thousands of flight hours, make it possible to launch at midnight, insert forces 5 meters from a moving convoy, and leave before enemies react. Fire support. In high-risk scenarios, MH-60 DAP's direct-action penetrators are used. These are armed to the teeth, dual miniguns, rocket pods for hard targets, infrared sensors to track vehicles even through smoke or terrain. Delta trusts the 160th, not just as pilots, but as part of the fight. Extraction under fire. If the mission goes loud or a target resists, MH-47 Chinooks extract Delta with detainees even while under fire. They can also carry disabled vehicles or bring in drones and gear for sensitive site exploitation. Extraction timing is rehearsed extensively, sometimes with 2-minute windows from breach to exfil. Intelligence indicated a mid-level Al-Qaeda financier would be on the move near Fallujah. Delta launched ISR drones to track convoy, Little Birds with 4 Delta operators each, ground team in low-profile SUVs. As the convoy entered a known choke point, MH-6s dropped operators on either side of the road, and ground vehicles boxed in the target. DAP Blackhawks circled overhead. Operators breached the vehicle, captured the financier, and found encrypted drives under the seat. All teams were extracted by MH-60s within 8 minutes. Result: 0 casualties, target secured, key financial network dismantled. Delta tracked a high-level courier transporting communications gear between cave systems. Road conditions were extreme, too narrow for vehicle pursuit. Solution: MH-60s inserted blocking team into a valley. MH-6s inserted flanking teams on ridges. Chinook stood by for extraction. The courier drove straight into the trap. When blocked, he attempted to flee into the brush. Delta teams used thermals and dog support to find and seize him. Result: satellite phone and ledger recovered, leading to a full-cell takedown later that month. Interdictions differ from house or compound raids in key ways. Target location: interdiction, the target is in transit. Raid, the target is in a fixed structure. Time pressure: interdiction, high, you must strike quickly. Raid, moderate, there's more time for planning. Flexibility: interdiction, high, operators can adapt while in motion. Raid, limited movement is restricted by terrain and walls. Air asset role: interdiction, often direct, such as engaging targets on the road. Raid, used for insertion and overwatch support. Because of this, Delta operators are trained in rapid adaptation, quick threat assessment, and mission fluidity. Interdiction operators must process information, instantly move in perfect coordination with aviation units, read vehicle movements and human behavior, be ready to detain or destroy within seconds. Training involves live runs with helicopters and SUVs, vehicle takedown courses under stress, hostage rescue elements in confined vehicle spaces. Delta's selection and training system ensures that by the time someone reaches these missions, they've mastered split-second decision-making and total calm under chaos. Delta Force doesn't operate in isolation. Every operation they undertake is nested within a wider counterterrorism framework. Vehicle interdictions play a unique role in that structure by offering mobility neutralization. HVTS often travel between safe houses or border zones. Interdictions stop them before they disappear. Time-sensitive response: some targets are fleeting. You can't wait for a perfect moment. You hit them in motion or not at all. Clean intelligence recovery: vehicles often contain phones, hard drives, weapons, or documents. Capturing those undisturbed is key. Interdictions provide the perfect balance of surgical precision and surprise. Terrorist networks rarely stay in one place. Leaders, facilitators, financiers, and bomb makers are constantly moving. Between borders, between meetings, between targets, Delta Force uses interdiction to disrupt that movement cycle. If you can capture or eliminate a target while they're mobile, you cut them off from their network and prevent them from reacting or hiding. Vehicle interdictions have been used to stop suicide bombers en route, intercept foreign fighters, capture weapons convoys before they reach cities, prevent HVTs from fleeing drone surveillance zones. This isn't just tactical, it breaks entire enemy operational timelines. It's impossible to separate interdiction success from aviation dominance. The 160th SOAR's unmatched ability to move, extract, and overwatch allows Delta Force to operate in dense cities, deserts, or mountainous passes, arrive faster than any enemy can react, extract with precision even if the mission goes loud. Even when the mission is ground-based, the Night Stalkers are often hovering just over the horizon, ready to exfil or provide cover. Their role is more than supportive. They are integrated into the entire plan, often rehearsing with Delta from initial planning to final extraction. Delta Force's mastery of vehicle interdiction has become a model for other elite units. NATO Special Forces, Tier 1 police units, and intelligence agencies have borrowed these tactics for counter-narcotics missions, hostage rescues, high-risk arrest operations, units such as SAS and SBS, UK, GIGN and RAID, France, Sayeret Matkal, Israel, KSK, Germany, have all adopted vehicle interdiction tactics learned through U.S. joint training or combat experience alongside Delta. While extremely effective, vehicle interdictions are not risk-free. Challenges include civilian traffic and collateral risk, misidentification of targets in moving convoys, enemy pre-ambush or decoy traps, breakdowns in ISR or satellite coverage mid-mission. To counter this, missions are only greenlit with verified real-time ISR confirmed target ID, backup exfiltration plans, legal authority, and interagency approval when needed. Delta Force operators train constantly to handle these exact scenarios, ensuring safety and success even in fluid or compromised environments. Vehicle interdiction demonstrates what separates Delta Force from other military units: their ability to strike on short notice, their coordination with intelligence and air assets, their precision to disable a vehicle, neutralize a threat, and extract in minutes. The combination of elite operators, high-level ISR integration, and the aviation supremacy of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment makes vehicle interdiction not just a tactic, but a signature move.